Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the When and Soul podcast. Danny Cho here with Bobby Choi. Woo, 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 woo. Bia.
What's up, Danny?
Dang, we need, you know what? We've been saying this for a while, but I think we need to find a soundboard because I think we need to up our game in terms of the sound quality of this.
We're just having the same conversation over and over again.
But we never get the professional quality soundboard because of the fact that we're kind of ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So we're like, we don't need it. So welcome everybody to the When and Soul podcast. The reason why we're here today is because we're supposed to be here today. We're supposed to record one. What's up, Bobby? How you been?
I've been really good.
You've been really good?
Today.
That's a good day. The weather's been picking up, you know?
Yeah.
It's not as cold anymore. And I today feel good because I read a positive comment about myself. It's the first positive comment in a long time about myself.
Yes.
I felt like I begged for it though, because one of our listeners, Pumpangak from Patbang, writes, "Hi there, Danny and Bobby. Good to hear from you again. Danny, I'm sorry if I made you feel left out. You know I didn't mean to. Of course, I find you utterly adorable and hilarious too. I really want to catch your next gig. I think you're super smart and you speak almost like a native Korean, which is amazing. I'm sure you know you're all that charming because you sound very confident. I didn't know if Danny knew he was very funny as well, so I wanted to give him a little boost. Hee hee. You guys are like butter and honey, or better yet, you're like spam and eggs. You made my bland rice membap like day happy. So thank you once again. I'll keep telling people about this show. Thank you, Pumpangagnim.
A little context for
new listeners.
Yeah. So we had a comment from Pumpangak. The first episode, right, of the season, and it was very positive, but you felt a little bit left out of the comment.
Yeah, because she kept on saying, you know,
how great I was.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, okay. Like I'm here too, you know, and thank you, Pom. Even though I feel like I kind of like forced it out of her. Thank you, Pom. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Well, we want to encourage more listeners to write in, and comment on the show. Say
nice things about me. That's all I really care. You know, like I said, like I think I told you before we started the show, like when you're younger, you know, like you get complimented or you get encouraged, for random things, like just mundane things, like like his first step.
Walking,
잘 걸었어, right? Like, you know, and you get that, but as you get older, you know, you don't get encouraged for mundane things. I feel like if you get encouraged for regular day-to-day things, like every day if you got like one like compliment, not about like being good looking, but like, hey man, like good job, you paid your rent today. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're supposed to, but if you did, you'd be like, yeah man, I'm going to pay my rent every month. Like, you know, you're going to feel that kind of thing.
Good job for not tripping today.
Yeah.
Good job for not bumping into something. Good job for not getting into an accident.
Then wouldn't you want to be like, you know what, I'm going to keep this streak alive. I'm not going to trip forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like it makes you feel a little bit more, you know.
I guess so. I'm okay with the way things are going.
No, I want a little encouragement. Absolutely. I think I'll become a better person if I kept on getting compliments.
Okay. Well, good job today, Danny. Showing up to work. And
you kind of showered?
So good job for not losing all your hair yet.
Yeah.
You know still have...
well, my remaining hair should get the compliment for like holding on. You know what I mean?
You have a bit about that, right? About like... You're proud of your remaining, or you want to give props to your remaining hair?
Yeah, I feel bad because like I don't want to get the hair transplants.
Yeah,
because I feel bad for the hair that's still there.
They've been so loyal.
They've been so loyal. If I did get like a hair transplant, the OG hairs would be like, so where y'all from? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, we're from the armpit. You know, like so. What about you, Bobby? Well, what's new in your life?
I'm trying to think of that to put in like another example, let's say if the norm or the standard was having 10 kids is like the perfect amount of kids. That was like back in the day for our parents. They had like multiple siblings.
Yeah.
And so families that didn't have 10 kids, maybe they had 2 or 3.
Yeah.
They would just have like plastic stand-ins.
Plastic
to round. I mean, like fake hair.
Just for the family portrait.
Yeah, they're just like, I don't know. I'm just being silly.
Yeah, my mom, she's the youngest out of 9 kids.
9 kids.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting the number from my parents. They both had an equal amount, I think, like 6 or 7 kids. But then they also had siblings that didn't make it to the first birthday.
Yeah.
Like more than one,
which
was like the norm back in the day. But when I first heard that, I was a grown adult. And my mom told me about that. I was just so shocked.
Because you might have uncles that
yeah,
you could have had more uncles.
That's why they make
aunts.
it's such a big deal in Korea. The pegir, no, is it the pegir?
Yeah,
the 100 days.
Yeah,
and then the 1 year is the tor is very important.
Yeah.
The 1 year birthday, not because it's just a birthday. It's because they survived and they didn't,
So Bobby, what's going on in your life, man?
Well, speaking of kids, I guess I can start talking about this. I've been holding this in for a while, but I'm having a baby.
Wow.
My wife and I.
Yeah.
We're having a kid. We made an announcement just a couple weeks ago, I guess, on social media. My wife got a video of me on Christmas Day showing me the pregnancy test. She woke me up.
Right.
Like in a very funny way.
Yeah.
And it was the fastest I've ever woken up because I saw this stick and I knew what it was, but I was like, I was pretty much asleep. I've never waken up so fast in my life.
Yeah, that was pretty quick, man.
Yeah, but I was so happy. It was like just filled with a lot of emotion. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be a dad.
Ooh. Congrats, Bobby.
We are in our 2nd trimester now, so it's safe to start telling people. The doctor said the baby's healthy, mommy's healthy, so we can start telling people.
Right.
So interesting.
I just want to point out one thing. She's having the baby, not we. You ain't having anything. You just holding hands.
Yeah.
You're just trying to not piss her off. That's what you're doing. It's
I'm doing a good job, I think. I'm very mindful of things. I'm very I'm starting to become more responsible, and I can see that more every day. Like even down to things like she'll eat. Like I'll like kind of stop her to make sure that's okay to eat.
Oh wow.
Or consume if you're pregnant. But then I was thinking, I probably should have had that kind of attitude long before, just about what we consume, what we eat. What is that healthy? Is it? I don't know. I feel like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But what if you? Okay, so back to my first point. What if now that you started becoming more concerned about your wife's intake, for health reasons and also for the baby's health reasons, you know what I mean? And someone patted you on the back and was like, "Hey man, good job." You'd be like, "Man, I'm going to keep on doing this." No, you're not going to do that?
Yeah, I don't really care so much about compliments. Compliments make me feel weird. I don't know.
Okay,
it's awkward.
Encouragement?
Encouragement, yeah.
I'm just trying to push upon a little bit of positivity right now to the world, not just to you, but just to the world, man, because the world's a little crazy place. But congrats, Bobby. Congrats.
Thank you.
Have you been reading the parenting books?
I have. I've been doing everything I feel like I can do. I have multiple phone apps also that give you daily insight and what to expect and how to prepare. Yeah, and any article I see online or anything about parenting, I'll click on that, make sure I read all of it. Talking more to, well, when I see friends that have kids, I have all these questions for them. I don't know if I'm annoying them, but they're probably used to it.
But like, my question is, I'm sure there's parenting books in both English and in Korean, right?
Yeah.
Do you think there's gonna be like a disconnect? Maybe there'll be a different style of raising a child?
Sure. I have a book in Korean too.
Wait.
So I started to read it slowly with a translator, but I gave up already. So I kind of have this idea where, I'm going to speak English to our child, and my wife will probably speak Korean. So culturally also, we'll probably run into things that we didn't even know about each other while raising this child. So I think it's going to be fun. It'll be interesting. It's going to be very different from my upbringing, her upbringing. Hopefully we'll bring the best of both worlds.
So you're just going to fusion learning, right?
Yeah.
There's we're talking about being raised Korean or being raised American, and you're saying both.
Yeah, for the most part, like as best as we can do so.
Right.
There's certain things that I was, the question of discipline. Disciplining your child to what degree.
Right.
And how our parents have horror stories about them getting hit even in school. And that's not a thing in Korea anymore,
right,
apparently. But I feel like my wife understands that also.
The spanking.
Yeah. And but I was never hit growing up. So I'm wondering if she's going to be the disciplinary and I'm going to be the fun dad. I guess I don't know where I'm going with this.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is always true, but I feel like if it's a son, usually the mom is more of plays nice parent, and the dad plays bad parent, or you know what I mean, good cop, bad cop.
If it's a son,
yeah. But then if it's a daughter, then the dad plays the good cop. Well,
I don't know.
Mom
Was that your experience?
Well, in my family, it was.
Okay.
My mom was the one that was good cop, and my dad was the stern one. But to my sister, it was the other way around.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. My dad, my mom, they were. I don't remember ever getting hit by them. So.
Man, you're being a parent, man. That's like, obviously I'm not even married, I'm kind of barely seeing somebody right now. So like me to get to your level, I mean, to get her pregnant is not hard, but it's just, you know what I mean? Like the having the preparation to being a parent, I feel like that's a daunting task. Yeah.
I mean, there's an article actually where we wanted to talk about today, right? A news topic regarding birth rate. Birth rate's declining in Korea, which is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about our parents having lots of siblings. And these days, there are a lot of families that only have one or two kids, and most people aren't even getting married these days. That's declining. Dating apparently is even something that's declining as well.
Which is weird because I feel like dating, like when I'm in Hongdae or Sinchon, I see I see more couples than ever. Like I feel like Korea is geared toward trying to make couples happen. So yeah. But like in terms of marriage and in terms of like birth rates, Like apparently, they're saying that at this rate, the Korean race is going to be extinct.
They say something like that will happen in 80 years.
Yeah.
Which sounds like a long time, but it really isn't. It's only like a generation, I guess. Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're being a patriot, and you're having a kid, right?
Yeah. Actually, there's incentives that the Korean government has offered us and is actually giving us at the moment. With the fact that Korea having the lowest, what do you call it? The
birth rate.
Lowest birth rate in the world, according to heraldcorp.com. They're saying that, Korea is in the lowest percentage in the world.
So, I'm curious why that is. Do you think it's because they're like, you know what, like it's going to cost a lot of money? Like we talked about in a previous episode about like hagwon and just the competition of raising their kid to be, raising their kid to basically be able to have a shot at succeeding in this country.
I think it has a lot to do with everything, economy, just unemployment, just the system that Korea... this is just me. This is just conjecture. Like, how in Korea a lot of people don't leave their house until they get married. They live with their parents till they're young adults, even adults.
Right.
And people are getting married later and later. Even myself, I got married when I was 38.
Wow.
Right? So in Korean age. So I think, if people aren't leaving because they're afraid to leave the house, they don't have enough money saved. They don't, they're depending on their parents. Like, marriage seems like an irresponsible thing to do.
Right.
That security is hard to leave. So I don't know, maybe that has something to do with it. People are becoming less and less, they're, what do you call it? They're dating less because they're having less human interaction these days, based on the fact that a lot of people, they don't even need to leave their house. They can work from home. Oof. The internet has a lot of things that, they can basically have a second life online.
Right.
And they can get caught up in that world and not even interact with other human beings.
Yeah.
It's probably has a lot to do with that too. I mean, Korea is very, very wired in. They're the fastest internet on the planet, right? So
that's
they
true.
Take advantage of stuff like that.
So the government is trying to incentivize people and couples for to have kids. So according to nextshark.com, they say that South Korea recently announced that it would increase the monthly payments to $270 and expand the subsidy to include the wealthiest 10% of the people in the country. As an added incentive, parents with children below the age of 8 will be allowed to work one less hour so they can take care of their family longer, starting late 2019. Paid paternity leave will also cover up to 10 days instead of 3. So they're trying to, be like, look, we're going to give you a little bit more leeway.
Yeah.
But I feel like $270 is kind of nothing.
It helps, though. You're forgetting also that Korea has universal health care. So really that's covering... it does cover a lot of costs that go beyond healthcare. So...
You know what?
It's helpful.
I don't know. I know I can increase the numbers of the birth rate, but I don't know if it's going to raise good parents. You know what I mean? So for example, let's say a way to increase the birth rate is not to outlaw condoms, but a pack of condoms are $100. Right?
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what I mean? Then people are going to be like, let's do it, but we got to figure out other methods, right?
I wonder if there's a comment section on the government website for Korea, you should propose that.
Like, don't outlaw it, but just be like $100 a box of condoms, and people are like, ooh, like
That seems like a bit you can make for your stand-up.
no, but you know that's the thing though, like because I live in Shincheon next to the motel. Like there's a bunch of motels in Shincheon. Like that's some people call it the Bermuda Triangle. Like couples go in and they should come out, but like you know they get lost in there. And the condom game at the penny jumps near my place is ridiculous. Like I was like, wow, there's I didn't know that this many condoms in Korea.
A wall of condoms.
Yeah.
Which says a lot because the motels already have the condoms in the room. Right?
Yeah.
So I hear. I mean, the motel game in Korea is very unique to Korea, I would say. The one we're talking about.
Right.
They call them MTs, right? Koreans.
Like motels?
Yeah, they say they don't say motel. They say MT.
Because MT is also like the membership training, like you know where like if you're in college and you have like a group, they go together.
Koreans call MT membership training.
Yeah. Like it's basically an excuse to go hang out and play drinking games, Korean style.
Well, I don't know. I've never heard that, but I've heard Koreans use the phrase MT when they're talking about motels. So I don't know. Have I
ever taken a girl to a motel to
Oh, now we're going into this show is taking quite a turn.
No, I mean we're talking about birth rates and how do you increase birth rates? There's only one way to do it, my friend. Well, there's another way, but
I mean, really it's incentivizing marriage is a great thing. We actually get if you're a newlywed and within a certain amount of years, you qualify for lower interest rate loans.
Okay.
For housing. You know, in Korea they have jeonse.
Right.
And it's a lot of money to put down for jeonse on an apartment.
Right.
So like that deposit on the house, like that's the system here where you have to have a lot going in. So they incentivize married couples with lower interest rates or bigger loans, stuff like that. My wife and I, we are taking advantage of that, but also we're having a really hard time with that because we're both technically freelancers. And so we're on the anyway.
But
it's hard.
But I feel like, hey, as a Korean people, if you're listening, let's make babies. I'm all for it. And I'm also here to help. So if you guys want to make babies, email us at peninsulapod@gmail.com.
Well, here's another article that's saying that Korea is the 5th lowest in fertility in the world.
Yeah, the average South Korean woman is expected to give birth to 1.187 babies in her lifetime.
And that Herald Corp quote was saying that it's the lowest in the world in terms of birth rate or marriage. What is this? Oh, birth rate.
Yeah.
Right. So, in any case, it's low.
Yeah.
So 1.187 is the number. I guess that's one kid with an extra arm. It's like it's messed up. I'm sorry. But
3-armed kid is 1.187. That's jacked up, bro. You know what though? Like, you said you got married at 38 Korean age, and you're in your 40s now, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever think about like parent math? Like
parent math.
The reason why I bring this up is when my sister got married, and I know they don't do this in Korea, but in America they have the father-daughter dance, right, and the son and mom dance.
Yeah, at the wedding.
At the wedding, right?
Yeah, the reception.
So I saw my sister dancing with my father, and I told myself, you know what? If I ever have a daughter, I'm gonna get to right here. That's my job. My job is to get to this moment, meaning that if I had a daughter, my job is to get to the father-daughter dance, right? And then immediately my brain started doing parent math, meaning like if I had a kid right now at my age And let's say that she'll get married in her mid-30s latest, right?
Yeah.
Or it can be 40s, right? But then I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to live to 8. And I don't want to be one of those those dads that is too feeble to not be able to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like you want to...
I don't want to be on a wheelchair and like she's just rolling me around on the dance floor.
How old was your dad when your sister got married?
63, 64.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to be... So you start doing parent math. If you had a kid, let's say, in a couple years, you'd be 45, right?
No. That would be you. No, that wouldn't be me.
I guess let's use me as an example.
Because
right? So I'm having a kid.
Yeah.
And right now I'm 42. Let's say I'll be 60 when they're 18. Doing simple math now. Yeah. If they get married, if they get married when they're 25, let's say, if I'm lucky, these days 25 is very young to get married. So let's just say 25. I'm gonna be 65. Did I just do that right?
No.
Yeah. So okay, I'm 42.
Yeah.
By the time I'm 60, 18, 7 years after 67. Let's say I have a daughter, then I can dance with my daughter at 67.
Right.
Okay. So that's parent math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But like, I start thinking about that. And then you're like, okay, well, then you go, oh man, I got to make it till 67. Like I can have a heart attack the day after. I can die the day after. But
okay. You just want to get there.
But as my duty is to be like, get to right here and I'm good. You know?
I kind of want to get to grandchildren.
Of course, you know, but you know, like
if we're creating a wish list,
you know,
maybe some great grandchildren.
Let's be vampires and live forever so we can see all of it. No, but you know, like I was thinking that, and so I was wondering if you, now that you have, you know, your wife's pregnant, do you go, oh man, like, well, not only do I need to be like healthy or whatever, but like do you do any sort of that kind of backwards math?
Yeah, I will tell you that I have been switching up my daily life, like the things I do. I'm more mindful. Well, also because my health has been in decline the past couple of years, that I'm kind of grateful for. Like having gout is turning out to be a blessing for me because I cut out a lot of things in my life that I thought I never wanted to in the first place. And I thought I'll just keep drinking soda. I'll keep eating fast food. I'll keep doing that until, you know, like I didn't care. Right. But now I've cut out a lot of those things in my life. I'm going even further now that I know that we're having a kid. Like I'm being mindful of purchases, like clothing. Right. Like, do I really need this stuff? Do I need another pair of socks? Yeah. I could save that money and, you know, for my kid in some way. Like every dollar counts, every 천원 means something more now to me. Yeah. Especially because I have very little 천원s. 아, 진짜 돈 없어서.
Oh, wow.
I have no money.
No, I mean, and by the way, even the taxis, they raise their fees a little bit. So I'm like, ooh, this hurts a little bit, you know?
Ever since I found out we were having a kid, I have taken the taxi maybe twice. That's because I got caught in Gangnam after midnight. Yeah. And so I try my very best not to be in a situation where I have to even take a taxi. In Korea, taxis are cheap here. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like being more mindful of my finances, about everything. My career, eating out, stuff like that.
Yeah. So now the first step into getting married is to, getting hooked up, being in a couple, right? Yeah. And so there's a lot of dating apps in Korea, and I'm on a few.
You're on a few.
I'm on a few. Okay. But mostly they're ones that I like for example,
Are you on the Korean ones too, or just like
no,
Tinder?
You know why the Korean ones? Because on my phone setting, I haven't changed the store region to Korea yet.
I don't know what that means.
No, because
okay.
on your iTunes, like.
Oh, right.
If you set your...
There's certain apps that aren't available to you because you're associated with the U.S. stores. Okay.
Yeah, and then so the stuff that you purchase in the U.S. stores that are not available in Korea, if you switch the region, then those go away.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, K-Town Cowboys is only available on the iStore in America. So if I switch it, then my purchase gets... deleted.
Nice little plug there.
Yes, right. So anyway, so I haven't, because a lot of them are only region specific.
Yeah.
So I've been on like things like Tinder. There's a Bumble. There's Coffee Meets Bagel.
Okay.
So, but for example, Tinder. I've heard of Tinder when I was in LA, like for a handful of years before I got here.
Okay.
And everyone was using it in LA to more like a dating site / hookup site. So hookup as in just like casual sex type of like system, right?
I remember back in the day, people used MySpace to reach out to people and meet up. That was kind of like before the Tinder days.
Right.
For Korea, I know dating apps are very, they're pretty prevalent now.
Yeah, I think the most famous one is called Amanda, but like I can't put it on unless I switch the region. But I was told, I'm not sure, but like you put up a profile picture to sign up, you get rated by your looks, and you have to reach a certain score for you to even be a part of the site.
You get rated on your looks?
Well, yeah. What are they going to rate you on? If like they're not going to rate you on your earning income.
So you have
or
to
whatever.
put your best photos.
Yeah.
Up. It's like okay.
Yeah.
All right. So.
I mean, even in Tinder, like you can read the description, which I do, but ultimately you're looking at the picture, right?
It seems superficial.
Absolutely.
But Koreans, like everyone has a different type. So what if your type is completely different from what the norm is?
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
That's my one concern with.
But but let's be honest. I don't think my face is anybody's type. Like appearance wise, like my.
I disagree, man. I think you're just like a delightful,
like
cute man.
You're lying so much. You're stuttering.
Well, I've been stuttering a lot lately.
The delightful, cute. Like you were just thinking of the word, but you couldn't think of it. But my point is that there's Tinder in Korea, and I've seen some commercials. And
commercials,
really, like actually on TV, but they're not marketed. It's not marketed as a dating site almost.
This is the article you pulled up.
Yeah.
On the Korean Herald.
Yeah.
Marketing is different in Korea for Tinder.
Yeah. So it's not like, hey guys, this is where you try to find a potential girlfriend. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows that that's what it is, but like the commercial I saw was this dude running like early in the morning. He's just jogging down across the Hangang, right?
Yeah.
On a bridge, right? And then he stops and he goes, "Man, I want to find a running buddy." And he opens the Tinder app, and then he swipes to be like.
It's more of a social media.
That's what their
platform like Facebook.
Yeah, it's almost like a social, like people with similar interests.
Meeting.
Yeah, like a meetups, right?
Okay.
Which also exists in Korea too, right? But
I feel like that might be a front for what Koreans really want.
Of course.
Because Koreans can be very shy about their situation,
right?
And won't straight out say, "I'm desperate for a date."
Yeah.
But like in America, people, they're just like, check out this Tinder. Like they'll always show me. I always see people just pull it out and like. They're like my friends. They'll be swiping left or right in front of everyone. They're very not, they're not shy about it. I feel like in Korea, I've yet to see a Korean pull out their phone and use Tinder in front of me. I wonder if that's because I don't have that many friends, or if it's I'm staying home a lot. But I miss the Tinder age. Like I met my wife like 7 years ago. We were on and off in the beginning, but still we didn't have Tinder.
Right.
There was like online dating stuff like Match.com and stuff, but Koreans didn't really use that stuff.
Is Match.com in Korea?
I don't know. I remember I'm just saying like back then, like 7 years ago.
eHarmony.
I don't recall any phone app being available for dating casually, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy that I was able to find my wife and I were able to find each other without that assistance. I feel very lucky. But part of me is like, I wonder, like how it would have been.
Right.
It will probably, because I'm a really shy guy, and for me, it was hard for me to meet women. Like, just it always has been.
Right.
And so I feel like an app would really help me, especially with Koreans. I know a lot of Koreans are very shy about that subject.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand why Tinder would make an app. I mean, like a CF in Korea commercial that is saying it's not a dating app.
Yeah.
It's something you shouldn't be afraid of. You can meet people that are you're interested in the same thing, like running.
Yeah, or hiking.
Yeah, but it's a front.
Yeah, or just how about we just meet the similar our similar interests is we want to be in a relationship. That's our relationship.
And I feel like in the States, like there would never be a commercial like that. They might even opt for a commercial say, "Hey, use Tinder to hook up with people."
Yeah. Might as well, right? Well, you told me once that you didn't do like the Tinder stuff, but you went on a speed dating event in LA once.
Oh yeah. Well, I've done the meeting.
The 소개팅?
No, meeting.
Or like group meeting.
That's what it's called, right? Meeting. So I did that in Korea, the meeting thing. The sogeting thing, Oh, okay. So I'll talk about that thing I did in LA, which I guess I could talk about now. But they asked. It was a weird situation where it's like it's a speed dating thing for Koreans, or Koreans living in LA or just all over the country, actually.
Yeah. So they flew in for this event?
It was just like this dating service, speed dating service that you have to sign up to, and there was like a yearly fee, or there's a membership fee, which was really high. It was, I think it was thousands of dollars. And for the most part, actually, somebody asked me if I can come to one of their events and be part of the speed dating event. Yeah. And they said, you don't have to pay any fees. We're just short on guys.
Okay.
So I ended up going with like 4 or 5 other of our friends. You know some of them too. I remember that night they just said, please do not tell anyone that you guys didn't sign up for this program, that we're short on guys, because they're mostly women that paid for this service, and so you have to be, they kind of messed up on the ratios. Right. So we went, and here we are, this big group of people. For the most part, a lot of the women that I met said, their parents signed them up. And that the money was non-refundable. Oh, they didn't want to be there, but they have to, they don't want to waste their parents' money. Yeah. I got that a lot. Right. But also, there was like a list of everyone that was in the room that you were going to meet. Right. And so my name was there, Bobby Choi, musician or artist or something like that. And so you can just anticipate who you want to meet. Right. There's like a couple doctors on there. Right. There's like some finance guys on there. So word got out fast, and I can hear there were some women that were straight out like, I'm just waiting to meet the doctor. There was like, nobody was like waiting to meet me. I knew that clearly. So why was I there, you ask? A friend of mine was involved with it, so they just basically said if I could do a solid. It was at a really nice hotel downtown.
Good dinner?
Yeah, it was like a super nice 10-course meal, whatever, steak, like all this stuff. It was really, really fancy, really well done. Everyone was dressed up. It was like, and I never went to prom. So I was like, this is like my prom, you know? I was in my late 20s, I would say.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was having a ball because like they had like all these activities to break the ice and make so people could feel a little more comfortable. They had games. They had a stage and an MC, like a female and a male MC, and they'd be like, "All right, who wants to come up and win like you know, a day at the spa?" You know, these coupons or these like I remember they were giving out coupons for You remember that place S-Bar?
Yeah.
In K-Town?
Yeah.
It's like a norebang, like a karaoke bar, food. Like it was like a cool bar, right?
Yeah.
But they had like these $50 gift certificates to there. They were giving those out, but people were too shy to go up there because they're like, I don't know, like people were just not into it.
I bet you the girls are like, what if the doctor doesn't like that I'm this like, you know, like wild and, you know, like rambunctious.
So I kept going up on stage. I was like, I want those gift certificates. So after, so I just turned out to be like an outgoing guy, you know, but I didn't care if people thought, oh, this guy's desperate for coupons because he's a musician, you know. Because I went home with like $200 in gift certificates that night. I was like, I didn't even pay to be here.
That's great. So
I met a lot of cool people. Yeah. Like I was, everyone was, for the most part, I didn't meet any weirdos. Everyone was pretty cool. You know, we had a lot in common because a lot of Korean Americans were there, and we didn't have to explain to each other our upbringings and stuff, and because it was probably similar, right? You know, so
well, I mean, your upbringing is very, very unique compared to most Korean Americans. As is mine. Mine is very unique as well. You know, so
I remember like a couple weeks later, I had a show at Hotel Cafe, and someone, a girl from that speed dating thing came to the show. So it was like, not only did I make like $200 in gift certificates, someone paid to go come see me at my show. So
it's good PR, man.
It was like the gift that kept giving. Like I made, you know, some money off of the door. So, but I felt I never, you know, I kept my word and I didn't tell anyone about it because it was like a weird situation. They didn't have enough guys for that particular event. It would have looked bad on the company. I don't know, but that was before there were Tinder apps and easier ways to meet people these days. And it's weird that, you know, it is easier to engage with people with social media and Tinder apps, stuff like that. But the decline in Korea in dating, even not just marriage and having kids, just dating is in decline. But it's easier, you know. So I don't know what the deal is. Like in Korea, they also have sogeting, they have meeting, which is basically speed dating. Like they have all these ways of getting people together, but the problem seems to be that people don't want more. They don't want to be in relationships. I don't know what the pressures are.
I think it's the stresses, and I think it's like financial too. A financial burden in terms of not only the marriage part, but like dating gets expensive. You know.
Sure. Yeah. That was a big deal for me too. I think personally. I didn't want to get married for a long time because of financing. Because I knew the life I chose, my career as being a musician, money was not the goal for me. Right. So every decision I've made, for the most part, as a musician, I've taken the road less traveled. And that always almost meant that there was a smaller payday. Right. Because I don't want to do something that someone else has already done. That's not the mark I want to leave on when my life is done. Yeah. You know, I want to do something that I can be proud of and put my stamp on. And with that, I knew early on that I would have to sacrifice having a relationship and possibly a marriage and kids. I just happened to find another soul on this planet that respects that about me and actually supports me in that in those endeavors.
Right.
But I get the stresses, I get the pressure. You know, her parents don't know that about me.
Of course.
You know, so I still have to try a little bit harder to make sure, you know, they don't have to worry about their daughter.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I think it's a good, these lessons that I'm learning now as I go, you know, I think I'm going to figure it out.
Right.
Now that I know I'm having a kid, I'm happy about these changes that I'm expecting and that I'm anticipating, because I feel like I'm going to be a better person, not just a better father or parent. I feel like it's making me a better person, more responsible, and hopefully it's going to affect my art in a way as well, because I'm going to explore new emotions. Everybody says, everyone that has a kid will explain to me, will always say, you know, you never know those feelings till you actually hold your child for the first time, or, you know, once they start recognizing you as their parent. And those, I'm excited about that, and I know it's gonna affect my music in a good way.
Have you guys thought of names for the kid?
We have. We've been talking about certain ideas. If anyone out there has any ideas, please, I'd love to hear it.
Email us at peninsulapod@gmail.com for any
there's
suggestions.
certain names I like. I like Lucy for a girl. I have a song.
Because I love Lucy.
Yeah. I thought that might be interesting. A little bit narcissistic on my on my part, but I do like the name too. And there's certain I won't go into.
What if it's a boy? It's Bedford.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Although I don't. It's just when I think of Bedford, I think of hipsters. I think of what do you call it? Gentrification. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not gonna. I won't. We talked about some names. I won't.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But, yeah.
But you also have to come up with Korean names too, right?
That we're gonna kind of collectively, or let our parents kind of discuss what they like, and then maybe we can go make it a little easier.
Yeah.
Traditionally, the grandfather chooses in Korea, picks the name, right?
Right.
Which is very not Western.
Yeah.
You know, so I kind of like it, but then I kind of don't like it. So I like the fact that we'll be able to say yes or no to.
Yeah. I mean, because like I'm told that, you know, there's many ways. Like some people like the family line has you know, they have one syllable that's constant. For example, like my Korean name is Hyojun, right? And my sister's Korean name is Hyojin, right? So the Hyo stayed the same, you know, and then the second syllable changes, right? So there's people that have that kind of situation. There's also people that just go to like some sort of you know, fortune teller and what do you call it? Pay to see what name would go well, which would make them prosperous and whatnot. So all that
stuff's interesting.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna be talking a lot about kids moving forward, and just to forewarn our listeners.
Yeah.
More because out of curiosity, and I need the support. I need to learn what to expect, and so especially if we have any listeners that are parents, or going through the same thing, please drop some knowledge on this on this clueless person here. I'm really scared, but I'm very excited. I'm very hopeful for for the near future and the future. I was going through a pretty hard time.
Yeah.
Before we found out about the kid, the baby. If I'm being completely honest, I just really had a tough year last year.
Yeah.
And this baby really saved my life in a very literal way.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I'm sure it also right now it kind of lights a fire under your ass, right? Just to kind of be like, all right, now it's time to now it ain't just about me, right? It's about
I'm really grateful for that,
Yeah.
and I can't wait to one day tell my my child that they saved my life in a big way. So with that, that note, I guess we'll wrap up for this week.
Well, I mean, Bobby, I've known that you guys or your wife was pregnant, but I want to say on air, congratulations, buddy. I can't wait to be an uncle.
Yeah,
right.
I want to say thank you first of all, but I also want to say hurry up and get married and have kids, man. Like, how cool would it be to have kids?
In the same grade, so we have to go.
That'd be so much fun.
To go to the same hagwons, and we have to go to the same
I'm trying to be selfish here, and I don't want to be alone in this. I want to see you at the PTA meetings. Have our kids on the same softball teams or whatever, on t-ball and all that great stuff, birthday parties. Second life, man. I feel rejuvenated, and I hope that for you. I hope that for all our listeners, and hopefully this wasn't too boring for you guys.
No, man, I'm already thinking about a new pickup line for Korean women.
What's that?
To be like, let's be patriots. Let's have a baby.
Let's up that percentage.
Yeah. We're like, come on. We can't go extinct. Let's be responsible Koreans and up this number.
Yeah.
We're in a campaign. You know what I mean?
Or you can make it. Yeah, you make some money out of it too from the government.
Yeah,
you get that. You get an extra seat on the train and bus. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys.